If only they knew why he catches the biggest bushmeats. The people of Umu's village marveled at Okonkwo's exceptional hunting skills. His catches were enormous, wild, and unlike anything anyone had ever seen. Every day, his restaurant was filled to the brim with customers eagerly waiting to buy his famed bushmeat. Rich men from distant towns and cities came in their flashy cars just to get a taste of what was called the best bushmeat in the land. But none of them knew the dark secret behind his success. You see, Okonkwo wasn't just any hunter. There was something sinister about the way he brought back the largest antelopes, the fiercest wild boars, and sometimes animals too strange to describe. Everyone thought he was just gifted, blessed by the gods, but Afam, a young boy of 23, had begun to see things that others hadn't. One evening, after hearing the usual praises of Okonkwo, Afam decided to follow him into the forest. There was something about Okonkwo's eyes, those cold, glinting eyes, that gave Afam chills. Hidden in the bushes, he watched as Okonkwo prepared for what everyone thought was his regular hunt. But instead of seeing him lay traps or ready his bow, Afam saw something that made his heart stop. Okonkwo knelt before a large tree, murmuring words in a language Afam had never heard before. A gust of cold wind swirled around him, and suddenly, a dark, shadowy figure appeared. It was not human, its eyes glowed red, its hands long and claw-like, and its voice was a deep growl that shook the earth. Afam could barely breathe. He watched in horror as the demon handed Okonkwo a large spear made from something darker than night. In return, Okonkwo bowed deeply, his face twisted into an evil grin. That's when Afam realized, this wasn't just a talented hunter. This man had made a pact with something far more dangerous. For days, Afam couldn't sleep. He knew he had to tell someone, but who would believe him? Everyone worshipped Okonkwo like he was a hero. They would think Afam was jealous or worse, insane. But Afam wasn't one to back down. He went straight to Pastor Ezekiel, the spiritual leader of the village, and told him everything he had seen. The pastor was shocked but not entirely surprised. He had always sensed something off about Okonkwo, but he had no proof until now. Pastor Ezekiel gathered a group of prayer warriors, and together with Afam, they devised a plan. They would confront Okonkwo and cast out whatever dark spirit was inside him. The day came, and as the villagers gathered in Okonkwo's restaurant, unaware of what was about to unfold, the pastor and his group approached. Okonkwo was behind the counter, preparing his usual feast, his eyes glowing with the same sinister gleam Afam had seen in the forest. The pastor, holding his Bible tightly, shouted, "Okonkwo, in the name of Jesus, we command you to reveal the truth." The entire restaurant froze. The air became thick, and the shadows in the room seemed to grow longer. Okonkwo's smile faltered for a moment, and then his body shook violently. The demon inside him wasn't going to live without a fight. As the pastor and his group began to pray, Okonkwo let out an unearthly scream. Chairs flew, the windows shattered, and the demon's voice echoed, "You cannot take him from me. He is mine." The villagers were terrified, running in every direction, but Afam stood his ground. He knew this was the moment the truth would be exposed. Okonkwo's body twisted and contorted as the pastor continued to pray. Slowly, the demon's grip weakened, and with one final, deafening roar, it left Okonkwo's body, disappearing into the night. The once great hunter collapsed, unconscious. When he awoke, he was no longer the man the villagers knew. He was pale, weak, and terrified. Okonkwo confessed everything, the pact he had made with the demon to become the best hunter, the ritual sacrifices he had performed, and the lives he had destroyed in the process. The news spread like wildfire. The authorities were called in, and Okonkwo was arrested for his crimes. The villagers were left in shock, knowing that the meat they had praised and eaten for years was the product of something far darker than they could have imagined. Afam, the boy who had dared to uncover the truth, became the hero of the village. But deep down, he knew that this victory came with a heavy price. He would never forget the sight of the demon, and he wondered if it was truly gone or if it was lurking, waiting to return. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel for more interesting stories.